lick back. Get your lick back. If a nigga owe you something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your issue splat. Stop letting this shit slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. I feel like I'm JX.
J-Way.
I'm a perfectionist. Adderall got me restless.
I'm gone.
Run with a wild crew, they get reckless. Young boy, come up off that neck.
Give me
Into
that.
the trends. See a lead, be the best.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Who Will Be King. We are back with another week of NFC North coverage. I'm here with a couple of my partners. How y'all doing this week?
Doing great. Vikings lost this last weekend, and we are going to fix that this weekend.
Okay.
You must be playing the Packers because I don't see it happening if you're playing the Bears.
All right. We are not. Go ahead, Dave. What are you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, have you heard the word fraudulent? I kept hearing it last year.
We still talking about the Packers?
No, I'm talking about the Bears.
Oh.
No. Let's be careful with those F words, Dave. You know, because I'm quite familiar with another F word, and it's 53% completion percentage.
Yeah.
I want to be very, very careful. I mean, 53 is great if you're playing basketball or if you're trying to hit a baseball, but
it's great.
when you're playing a man sport like football, maybe 53. You have to go all the way back to what? 1978 when that was a league average, or when Fran Tarkenton was the quarterback. I don't know if Fran Tarkenton get it done this day and age, but we're gonna find out come Sunday if Fran Tarkenton and that once every blue moon completions can get it done.
You're fine. It would have been more, but hey, it wasn't, so that's what it is.
All right, Dave. So you said the Vikings lost. Tell us how that went this past week.
It went miserably. We could have won. We didn't. We played the Ravens. And there was we started out fine, took the opening drive, scored, and everything looked great. And that's when it started to fall apart afterwards. It was Pay talks about 53% completion. There was some ugly throws by J.J. McCarthy and some beautiful ones. It's just like Pay goes through with Caleb. There's somewhere he got balls batted down, which is never a good thing. We had 8 false starts penalties, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. You shoot yourself in the foot that way.
It's even worse if you're at home and getting false start.
At home.
That's
ridiculous. And it was bad overall. But we're within 1 touchdown at the end. It was not glorious. It was purple on purple crime, like I said. We could have won, but we didn't. There was a whole lot of blame, whether it be Coach Kevin O'Connell going for it on 3rd and 1 or 2, going for the deep ball to Jefferson. Jefferson tripped and fell after the ball was already thrown. Easy interception by the Ravens. That was not good. It's crazy. We're questioning KOC's play calling ability because he tends to want to go for it on 3rd and short with pass plays. He's like 0 and 14 throwing the pass, where he's like 7 or 6 out of 7 when he runs the ball. It was a soul-searching loss is the best way to describe it. And they're going to come out pissed. That's why I'm saying we're going to blow out the Bears. Bears are going to take the brunt of the teams and the fans' anger, and they're going to lose.
All right, Pay. Who did you guys play this last week? How'd that go?
Well, there were some similarities between me and Dave's, the Bears and the Vikings game this Sunday. I have the Sunday ticket. So my setup is like this. The big TV has it on the main game. I got the smaller TV with the quad box. I'm watching Vikings and Ravens, and it's pretty much I was watching the same game. My eyes are darting going to the same place. I'm watching passes being batted down, passes that should have been caught hitting the ground. I'm watching a terrible defense being let off the hook because you're not running the ball, which you were having success when you did choose to run the ball. I'm watching miscues, but fortunately for the Bears, they was able to pull it out because Caleb saw all the problems that was going on out there. He saw his counterpart doing TikTok dances in the end zone. When he sat back, scoped the scene, looked down, saw his fingernails, and realized, wait a second, these are the same color as the cape that I wear. So he hopped in the booth, put on that cape, shiny red Superman cape, and went out there and brought back a win. He put the team on his back. And once again, another game-winning drive from the young man, Caleb Williams. If I take one thing.
But would it have been a game-winning drive if Jackson Dart hadn't given himself a concussion?
Took the words out of my mouth.
Gave himself a concussion? Yeah, I don't.
Slamming his head.
But I believe someone threw his head against the turf. But
okay.
What you said, false, a 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other, right? Football injuries happen. Whether or not they take away a win or give you a win, well, whatever the case may be, I'm not apologizing for a win. I don't believe that the Bears would have won the game if Jackson Dart stayed out there because I think Brian Daboll actually outcoached Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson and they pretty much threw the ball almost any time that they had to throw the ball, in which we came into this game playing against a team that's their only superpower was getting to the pass rush or getting to the quarterback. That was their only superpower. They're 31st in the league in rush defense, and we ran the ball 20 times with our running backs. 20 times, had a 5.4 yards per carry. And for some reason, we decided, you know what? We're not going to continue to run the ball straight at the pass rush. We're going to let the pass rush keep getting back there to Caleb. But for some reason, Caleb said, you can't sack me. Can't sack me. Probably the most elusive quarterback in the league right now. And that's why I say he put his cape on and he did what he had to do. He took the game over. Wide receivers weren't going to catch the ball. We had 7 drops in this game. 7 of them. He would have had 3 touchdowns through the air if wide receivers could do what they get paid to do. However, again, Dan, come back to you, Dave. I'm not apologizing for wins. Wins are hard enough to get in this league. Whether you steal them or they give them to you, take them and put them in your back pocket as if it's the 2016 final out of the World Series. Put it in your back pocket and keep it for safekeeping.
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly on that philosophy. It's but I just got to give you grief because without Caleb, you guys would have lost.
That's why I'm singing my quarterback's praises. We got a franchise quarterback. We got a franchise quarterback for the first time since Kyle Orton, maybe. Don't say that name. No.
You said who?
Kyle Orton, perhaps.
Kyle Orton.
Maybe Craig Krenzel. I don't know, but definitely not that guy you said. Cutler, no, not a franchise quarterback.
Justin Fields.
Well, Justin Fields' last game he played, he lost to the Packers last game he played. But last season he had the Bears, he had 7 wins. So we were still trying to get back to the Justin Fields level. So maybe perhaps. Even though he's no one else's franchise quarterback, but He had it. Not for today.
And it's crazy that you say that Brian Dable outcoached Ben Johnson because he's now unemployed. So
Rest in peace.
that's yeah, him and Nico Harrison, but that's another sport. I would like to save the best for last, but I guess the next course of games would have been the Lions, who played at 425. We went up against the Washington Commanders, coming off a loss against the Minnesota Vikings. One thing about the Lions, we have not lost 2 in a row in 3 years, which is an NFL record. So all things which suggest that we would get back on the right path, and that's exactly what we did. Dan Campbell was calling the plays. It was not John Morton up top. So, and he, was down there with his readers and in the plays, and he was cooking up some good results. He used some short passes to combat the pass rush, and eventually we got some bigger plays going. Jahmyr Gibbs had over 100 yards rushing. He had some long runs. I think he averaged like 9.5 yards per carry.
When did Dan Campbell take over?
He took over in the Washington game.
Yeah, but wasn't it like the first quarter?
Yeah, it was at the very beginning of the game.
Yeah, it was. He had enough of Morton Salt to.
I thought it was the plan coming into the game for him to call plays.
Yeah.
Okay. Still, it says something about your offensive coordinator. His head coach says, "No, sit out."
Yeah, it does. And Campbell called. I think he called some play prior to Ben Johnson took over. When Ben Johnson took over, Campbell did call some plays a couple of years ago, but he looked good and looked good doing it, and he didn't really disclose if it was going to be a long-term thing. But I think that he will be calling the plays again, this upcoming week. But we didn't allow any sacks. We played a much cleaner game. The Commanders, as far as offensively, obviously Jaden Daniels was out. They had Marcus Mariota. He was pretty accurate, but they just couldn't move the ball down the field. They didn't really have. Obviously, Terry McLaurin has been out, and Deebo Samuel was kind of a makeshift running back / wide receiver. So not a lot of deep threats, not much of a running game. And the Lions played converted much better on third down. I don't think they punted the entire game. And Jamison Williams got involved. He was the top receiver of the game. And eventually we had to call off the Wolves. I think Kyle Allen actually finished the game. And it didn't go without a little bit of mix-ups and some scrums. There's some rumors going around that Amon-Ra St. Brown might get suspended. I don't think he will, but what is the defense of Payne? He took
Deron Payne.
Yeah. He took a cheap shot on Amon-Ra St. Brown, which everybody was kind of wondering like what caused that, because it was after a touchdown. I think St. Brown was kind of talking to him. And then when they rolled back the tapes, there was a little mix up the play before where some say that St. Brown got away with a little shot, but it didn't seem like much. It seemed like it was more mutual combat at that time. But obviously with the tempers flaring and the frustration, Payne took an opportunity he kind of walloped on him. And St. Brown, he was guarding his midsection. He thought he was going, I don't know what but obviously he had the helmet to protect his head. So he said, let me, protect the jewels. But there was an ejection in the game, but overall it was a good bounce back effort against a team that, is struggling with the backup quarterback. And we got some nice momentum going into this next game, because this next game is going to be a tough one. So that was that. The final score was 44-22. Paige, were you going to say something?
No, I was curious because you had left me on a cliffhanger. They're like, who do you play next week? But we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we got plenty of time for that. So we get into the main event.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Go, not yet. Okay, go ahead.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
I knew the Detroit Lions were pissed after the week prior. They were going to destroy the Commanders, and they did.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I didn't want to make any grandiose statements because I probably made a few about the Minnesota game, but yeah, I mean, if history goes as it does, we don't lose 2 in a row. It's been quite a long time since we did that, and Washington has definitely declined on all fronts, especially defensively, and obviously with their backup quarterback in there, Marcus Mariota. I didn't expect. I didn't expect anything different, but you never know. Crazier things have happened. So I'm happy that we kind of had a smoother sailing game. It wasn't as, close and, at the edge of our seats. We could kind of relax a little bit by the middle of the fourth quarter. So I'm pleased with that. But
not only do you guys not lose 2 in a row, but after a loss, you all cover. That's what I was looking for. I was like,
okay,
this is cash. I'll take that.
Payday.
Exactly.
But the last game of the week, Monday night, I believe, was the Packers against the Eagles. And that was not a pretty game. It was actually a pretty sloppy one. The weather wasn't great. Pretty low scoring, a lot of incompletions between the two quarterbacks. When Pape was talking about 50%, I thought he was talking about Jordan Love or Jalen Hurts, because that was kind of the numbers they were flirting with. So a lot of struggles at the quarterback position this week. But they also combined for 3 fumbles between the two teams, and ultimately it was a long pass to Devontae Smith that was the deciding factor in the game. But yeah, outside of that, a lot of incompletions, a lot of turnovers. Crappy weather, crappy green jerseys. It wasn't exactly a barn burner. But what did you guys think about the game?
Woof.
I love the final score, though. Absolutely.
What was it, 17? Oh, no, 10-7?
10-7.
Yeah.
It was
old school.
Old school, yes. And it was supposedly a defensive struggle. No, it's the offense that's played like crap. Yeah. And it was great to see, especially with Jordan Love playing like absolute dog doo-doo, that happened. The Packers, right now, their fans are all up in arms about, is Matt LaFleur the guy to lead them forward? Because they haven't won since when?
They lost 2 in a row, so.
No, I'm talking playoffs.
Oh, playoffs. Oh,
and it's been, wait a minute. This was supposed to be the year. Jordan Love turned 27. Brett Favre was 27. Aaron Rodgers was 27. They're bound to be Super Bowl contenders. Well, now it looks like they may not even finish in the top 2 in the division. Preferably number 4.
Good spot for him.
But it's going to be interesting. I always enjoy when the Packers lose, so I'm biased.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those where I was a little conflicted because I'm not a bit, the Eagles coming into town, or not we're playing the Eagles next, and they're obviously somewhere atop the NFC. So if there was a way for them to, I don't want to say tie, because a tie would have just been too much. But if there was a way for them to both lose, that would have been just peachy. But I'll take a Packers loss. I'll take a Packers loss. Eagles can wait one more week to take their L. So yeah. Any other final thoughts as we close the book on week 10?
Well,
the Packers are the most let me say, I want to say irrelevant. They're the most irrelevant team in the league this year, right? I mean,
well,
I think they started the year off like, oh, they might be great. And then It took nothing but the Dallas Cowboys, but to take all that luster off of them. They've been trash ever since then. I am so tired of the glaze national media puts on this team, and they're not good unless it's Toyotathon. The whole team is whack, and now Tucker Kraft is gone for the season. You're gonna see the real Packers in. You're gonna see the real Packers real soon because their best player on offense. Yeah, I said it. I said it. Look me right in this camera. Best player on offense is gone. They're gonna be also Rams for the rest of the season.
Josh Jacobs is pretty good though.
I like Pay's plan better. But you got to remember, Foster, in the hated team hierarchy, Packers are always number one.
The one thing that they can be number one at.
Mm-hmm. Everybody else falls underneath them, whether it be the Eagles, the Cowboys, the Saints, whomever. They all fall underneath.
Do we really hate the Eagles, or do we just hate Philly fans? I mean, you gotta separate the two. I think.
I've grown to hate the Eagles a little bit because the co-host of my Tiger show is a huge Eagles fan, and so he is talking spicy this week. And they won the Super Bowl. I had to hear about it all off season, so they're up there in the hierarchy. I'm not gonna lie.
There's nothing more American than hating. Well, not hating, but there's nothing more American than celebrating the loss of one of your homies' teams. I feel you. I feel you, Foster.
Yeah, that's right. But let's take a quick break, and then we're gonna get on to the next week.
T. Lyons ask, how can you all hate the Packers? Rodgers and Favre are no longer there. Yeah, but Jordan Love
lives on.
Count the ways.
But before we get to the head-to-head match between the two of you guys, I guess we'll continue. We'll make it brief. The Packers take on the G-Men on Sunday at 1:00, and they are a depleted group. This is in New York or Jersey, however you want to call it, in the Meadowlands. And I think Jameis Winston is going to be the starting quarterback if Jackson Dart can't go. So, it should be some fun. I mean, it won't be the best quarterbacking, but, Winston always keeps it fun. I don't know who he'll be throwing to or who he'll be handing it off to because, I don't know, nobody's had more bad luck than them because they lost Neighbors, Scatterbo, their coach. It's just another rough year for the Giants. But how do you guys see this game going?
As injuries go, they've had it tough, but we've all got injuries. I'm not gonna poo-poo or cry them a river. I mean, you got to next man up. That's why you have 53 guys, so you got another one to pull up. But the Giants are playing the Packers, and I would love to see the Giants break, their losing streak to come to an end now. They played a very good game against the Bears. I already said I think Dayball outcoached Ben Johnson. While he still had Jackson Dart out there, they looked like a better squad for the first 3 quarters of the game. The way the Packers are playing, I can't see how they aren't even evenly matched. You got Jameis Winston, who's a wild card, as you already said. I don't believe Jackson Dart's going to play. Jameis Winston. Yeah, I mean, you don't know what you're going to get out of him. You might get 4 touchdowns. You might get 4 interceptions. You never know. But it's going to be a show. I know that much. And I'm looking for a show after because I feel like the Packers always won. From that Monday Night Football game where they put put America collectively to sleep, they owe us a show. And I believe that's why the call came from New York. Put Winston in the game. We're going to get some fireworks one way or the other.
Yeah, because it could have been Wilson. I don't know. I mean, I think he got in for the Bears. You probably know a little better. It was pretty bad.
It was horrible.
I knew that's what I knew the Bears was going to win. Like, oh yeah, Russie's in the game.
Russie.
No worries.
Russ
No
needs to retire.
worries. He cannot throw the ball. Go home, Russ. His wife posted on Instagram, and I'm being respectful by calling him his wife.
That is his wife.
His wife posted on Instagram later on that day, and I'm like, bro, why are you even wasting time? Don't play football anymore. Go home. Go home. You're cooked over here. You're done. Go home and be a husband and dad. That's where the money's at. Go do that.
Well, I'm hoping last week was Packers' start of their demise. And that, every time a head coach gets fired, usually the team comes out balling the next week.
They do.
So hopefully that's the case with the Giants.
Especially if the new quarterback bump you get, you don't just, as a gambler, do not overlook that. Whether it's I don't have the necessary time I have to plan for the new quarterback or something. It's something about that new quarterback, new coach bump. Hey, don't write off the Giants. You might get I would say put a little action on the Giants might not be the worst call in the world.
Hey, Packers are favored by 7.5.
You're not going to cover that. You're not going to cover it.
Probably not. But this is the part of the show that I've been waiting for. This is the head-to-head match between the two of you guys. Either one of you can take over at this point and see how you see the game is going to go from your point of view. We'll start with Pay. Pay, go ahead. Pay.
Oh, I was seating the floor to my man Dave there, but okay, let's go. So the Bears, we got to run that fade back, Dave. You guys got lucky in week one. I'm gonna call it. Got lucky in week one. We didn't do what we were supposed to, but just like my man Lethal Shooter on TikTok,
I get it now.
I understand now. We coming to get that bucket. We coming to get that bucket in your dome. The same defense that you saw week one. We don't have TJ Edwards. I don't expect him to play. We're not going to have Jalen Johnson. Kyler Gordon's still on IR. So it's a straight up head up match. We are not getting any better on defense. Our defense sucks. What's going to help us out is JJ McCarthy's going to give us a couple of easy ones. As you remember in week one, gave my boy Nashawn Wright. Your boy Nashawn Wright gave him an easy one. House call. I expect at least one more of those come Sunday. Now, I expect a better call game for Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson didn't have a good game on Sunday. He didn't have a good game in week one. I think some of that loss goes to him as well with that goofy challenge that he called and some of the play calling he had down the stretch. Dennis Allen too. I think they are primed and ready to get their leg back. So I do love the Bears' opportunity to go ahead and continue the good flow, make it 7 wins out of 8 weeks. Dave, how see you?
Yeah. Like I said, we got embarrassed ourselves against the Ravens, especially with the 8 false start penalties and all the stupid other things that happened. We're coming out with fire. And JJ already knows how to beat you. He did it in the fourth quarter in game 1. That's just going to continue from the start to the finish. Brian Flores knows how to make Caleb Williams curl up in a ball and cry like a baby. He's going to do that again this week. When it comes to injuries, no matter what the injury report says, we are almost 100% healthy. It looks like our starting center will be back this week. The only one that's possible not is Jonathan Grenard, who's huge on the defensive side. But we may have, for the first time this season, all 5 of our starters on offense. We didn't have that week 1. So, and everybody else is healthy. We had all those injuries at the beginning of the year, and luckily we're over them, and hopefully we'll stay healthy. And with that, we're gonna blow you guys out of the stadium. It's that simple.
Wow. Wow. That's with no Grenard, huh?
Possibly. He's hopefully going to be ready. He hurt his shoulder? Yeah, his shoulder against the Ravens, but there was no structural damage, and he's feeling better. So hopefully he'll be back by Sunday.
I like a clean jersey from Caleb this game.
I don't know if you saw that Dallas Turner had a beautiful, beautiful sack, and he was subbing for Grenard, and he bounced off the inside guard and just creamed what's his face from the Ravens,
Jackson,
and Jackson, and planted him into the turf. Now I got a penalty for it. The Aaron Rodgers penalty, full body weight.
Yeah.
But it was a picture perfect tackle. He grabbed, wrapped, pulled up, boom, down he went. But
I hope he's not lined up over 58, because it's gonna be he's gonna have a frustrating day. Number 58, Darnell Wright for the Bears I don't think there's.
Now I'll give it to a year. O-line's improved. Of recent.
Some of that is Caleb just being hard to tackle back there. But number 58, Darnell Wright, I don't think it's been 5 players all division, no matter the position, over the last month. In October, I think let me just say last month, middle of October to now.
He's
been one of the best players. Oh yeah. But it's partly because the guys are playing better. Theo Benedict's better than Braxton Jones. Darnell Wright has come into his own. Theo and not Theo, but Joe and Dalton, they've been okay as far as pressure rate's concerned. But when the guys when they do get pressured, Sunday is a great example. Caleb is spinning out of that stuff. He is not allowed himself to get touched dirt. He is a magician back there. That's the first time. Well, not this week. It wasn't the first time, but that ability is the Patrick Mahomes stuff that they had said coming into the league. He gets out of trouble, and he's like, oh, now it's time for me to make magic. That boy's gonna be it's gonna be magical. Yeah, you're welcome, Dave. I'm gonna get to you get to see a show Sunday, man. I'm envious of you. I've seen it before. I've seen the movie. You get to see it for the first time.
So you're gonna take the Bears, even though the Vikings are favored.
They could be favored. Bear down. You guys are the home team. You're supposed to get the home edge right now. It's what, 2.5?
That's on an even deal. No, it's 3.5.
3.5. You give 3. You give 3 to the home team. I like it.
Okay.
But it's as you always know, Dave, it's bear down.
Yeah, it's gonna be calling the medical guys bear down.
All right, so that's the 1 o'clock time slot. The last game on Sunday,
the game of the NFC North.
Yes, of course. But the last game of Sunday is the Eagles against the Detroit Lions. The Eagles are 7-2, I believe, and they started the year on a bit of a little hangover from their Super Bowl win. Saquon Barkley has only ran for 100 yards once this year, which is a major difference from the 2,000-yard rushing season of last year. He may be hitting that running back wall that the Giants anticipated, but just a year later. Jalen Hurts had a slow start as well. He had 0 passing touchdowns, and he had a couple 100 plus yard, under 200 yards passing the first two games of the season. But he's kind of found his way. He's got 16 touchdown passes and only 1 interception. So he's done a good job of managing things. And there was some controversy early on about AJ Brown and on whether he wanted out, but they seem to have worked those things out as well. As far as their defense is concerned, they've been decent. They've been pretty much middle of the pack. It starts with their defensive line. They got some good young players, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, the tandem from out of Georgia. But they've had a lot of it's been in and out as far as the edge rushing is concerned. They started the year with Zadarius Smith. He out the blue retired. They traded for what's his name, Jalen Phillips. So they've been kind of struggling as far as getting to the quarterback. I think they're 24th in sacks. As far as what it's going to take from the Lions to get the job done, it's continuing the trend that they had last week and converting on third down. And the one thing the Eagles do have going for them on both sides of the ball is just winning in the trenches as far as the red zone is concerned. They will hold, they're going to hold you to a lot of field goals, and they are going to score as they, do very well with their, short run attack with Saquon Barkley and the tush push and all that. They're gonna get in the end zone if you let them get into that red zone. So that's something that the Lions have to do better than the Eagles. Now, as far as the third down is concerned, that's one thing that they've struggled at. They have not been extending their drives very much, and they have not been able to get off the field on third down. So that's going to be very important for the Lions to do. It's going to be a tough game in Philly, prime time, yet another prime time game for the Lions. But I think that the Eagles have been successful in spite of the fact that they haven't been great in one particular category. So hopefully the Lions can ride the success that they've had in the previous week against another NFC East opponent on the road. Were the Lions on the road? Yeah, they were on the road. So yeah, I think the Lions have a good chance of winning the game, and I really don't want to hear the trash talk coming from Coach if we lose. And that's my homeboy Coach, who's a big Eagles fan, because he can always hang his hat on that Super Bowl, because the Lions have never been able to say that they've won that. But I can at least shut them up for a little bit if we can handle business on Sunday night. So that's that.
Good luck. The Bears are thinking they've got a chance.
Yeah,
and you think,
right? And you think you're going to blow them out, though? You think you're going to blow out the Bears?
We're going to blow them out, so it's not a chance. But they can be delusional. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, you're due, right? What's it? One win in the last 6 weeks. I mean, you're due. I mean, unlike the Bears, we have 6 wins in the last 7 weeks.
All right, yeah, we will see. It'll be interesting. It should be a good show next week for sure. Dave, what you got going on over at Vikings First and Skull?
Well, tonight we have X's and Skulls with Luke Braun from Locked On Vikings. He and Tyler are going to go at it. They're reviewing the All-22 from that Ravens game and focusing a lot on J.J. McCarthy, but he isn't the only one. And then tomorrow night, we're going to have a guest on the Real Forno show, Taylor Dahl. Does that ring a name for you, Pay?
It does. It does. That's a good get.
She's from Locked On Bears, a contributor there, and she also something. What was it? That's not her primary either. I gotta look up her primary deal.
What did you believe?
Not that I'm aware of. Taylor Dahl. She is Second City Gridiron.
Okay, yeah. What else? Close.
And Locked On Bears. So she's going to be on talking. And we're going to have a great time breaking down how the Vikings are going to beat the Bears.
Pay, what you got going on over your way?
It's always the same over at the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan channel. We got our semi-daily basketball coverage of those surprising Bulls. So Caleb isn't the only person that sees red. The Bulls are seeing red right now too. We got that, I guess, every other day. As far as Bears coverage, Friday you got the review of our rematch with the Minnesota Vikings. That will hit your airways wherever you get podcasts, and also available on YouTube. And right after the game, you got your post-game rant brought to you by JJ3 and the wonderful Tiff. So it's always something over here at the Frustrated Chicago Sports Fan Channel. Never lacking for the content, the sports content coming out of Chicago.
And over at Bleachers to Speakers, you can find some content just about every day. Obviously, the Pistons are cooking right now. I think they're 9-2 in first place. So, that's exciting, and we will be covering that. And every Monday, you can catch us over at the Central Division Showdown. So we run that show once every 3 or 4 weeks. And as far as the Tigers are concerned, it's kind of quiet. I think the GMs are meeting right now, but if any news breaks, we will be on top of that. Scooble is likely to not be moved, it's looking like, unless we are just overwhelmed with an offer. So hopefully there's no breaking news as far as that's concerned. And then, of course, on Saturday mornings, you'll get your routine pregame show for the game this week. And obviously we'll be breaking down the Eagles game. And as we wrap things up, what do they say in Chicago, Pay?
Bear down. We said that we're gonna say that in Minnesota too, but bear down, Chicago Bears.
Dave?
We say Skull Vikings. And Pay's going to hear a lot of that horn.
No lion sound this time.
There we go.
There we go. Thanks for joining us.
Get your lick back. If a nigga owe you something, ain't no chit chat. Better stay up out the way, don't get your shit splat.